Let's go over the top 10 small forwards to target in your Yahoo Roto drafts coming up next on Beat the Odds. Don't go anywhere. Hello sports fans and welcome back to another episode of Beat the Odds. I've got my top 10 small forwards to draft in Roto Leagues. Now if you like the sound of that, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so that way you don't miss an episode. I will be posting valuable fantasy content all season long. Do you have a burning fantasy basketball question that you want an expert to answer? Ask me on Q. Go to askmeonq.com/beattheodds-NBA, submit your question, and I will give you a personal audio response right to your email. You can even send me screenshots of your team so that way I can use that in my review. It's super easy to do and it's a great way to get fantasy basketball advice while also supporting this channel. Now let's dive right into the list here. At number 10, we have Keegan Murray. Murray's going to enter the season as possibly the fifth option on offense at times behind Fox, DeRozan, Sabonis, and Malik Monk. It does help that Sacramento will be among the league leaders in pace, so Murray will still get enough looks to carve out a solid season for fantasy purposes. He's a sneaky option for 2 stocks per game, which would be big for managers looking to draft him in this season. Let's go to number 9, we have Franz Wagner. Now I'll save you the suspense. Paolo Banchero did not make my top 10 power forward list. Franz will be the number 1 option, or 1B option in Orlando, and his ability to do a little bit of everything really exemplifies how valuable an asset he can be that could be available in the middle of most drafts. With Jalen Suggs manning the point, there's no real true point guard, which means that we should see a boost in Wagner's 3.7 assists per game from last year. Let's go to number 8, we have Miles Bridges. Now Miles is the number 2 scoring option in Charlotte and should remain there if Brandon Miller doesn't show growth in his sophomore season, or he does and LaMelo Ball gets hurt. Either way, I believe his best situation is in Charlotte, and if they do end up tanking, which is likely, then there is the possibility that Bridges is on another team by the trade deadline. Draft if you must, and sell high if you can. Let's go to number 7, we have Jalen Johnson. Now Jalen Johnson is somebody that I'm absolutely targeting in drafts. The 4th-year forward will be expected to take a larger offensive role with DeJounte Murray out of town. I like Johnson for his ability to rack up defensive stats. He's an excellent rebounder, and he's also going to chip in with a handful of steals and blocks. I'm penciling in a 3-point lift in scoring, which would make him a top 5 small forward if that does happen. Let's go to number 6. We have Jalen Williams. If you are looking for an all-around type of player, look no further. J-Dub is a star in a very young and very talented OKC squad who will be overshadowed, of course, by the presence of SGA. Now, I don't think that we're going to see a lot of improvement from Jalen this season, but he certainly has the skill set to go 25 on 5 on any given night. Look for the versatile forward in the 4th round of most drafts. Moving on to number 5, we have DeMar DeRozan. A new season on a new team. I would expect that there's going to be a feeling out period for DeMar to get used to the Sacramento system. Don't expect it to last that long though, as DeRozan will be looking to get back to his usual mid-20s scoring output in no time. I think that his stats remain somewhat unaffected playing for the Kings, outside of him losing some assists and possibly a little bit of scoring. Let's go to number 4, we have Jimmy Butler. Is Jimmy still a bucket? We will see how motivated he's going to be with all the rumors swirling around him. We need him to return to his 2 stocks per game for his value to creep inside the top 40 in the league. He will still be counted on as the main cog of an anemic Miami offense alongside Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. You will need to look for some 3-point help elsewhere though if you decide to draft him. Let's go to number 3, we have Paul George. PG enters a situation that's very interesting for fantasy purposes. He may see a scoring dip closer to 20 points per game, and he should also see better looks and will be counted on to be a lockdown wing defender. He's also a lock for monster games when Embiid happens to miss time, which he will. Paul George has his own injury risks, but he should be a relatively safe pick if you can get him in the 3rd round. Moving on to number 2, we have Lauri Markkanen. Lauri slides in at you because he's an efficient scorer. He's not going to offer a whole lot of playmaking, and he's a bit of a liability on the defensive end, but you can't doubt his scoring prowess. His style of play fits perfectly in Roto, especially if you have drafted a premier shot blocker. Now, I don't expect a whole lot of improvements or regression from Markkanen, so you can kind of bank on the season being very similar to last year. And finally, at number 1, we have Kawhi Leonard. On a per-game basis, Kawhi is far and away the best small forward on this list, especially in roto formats. There's no hole in his game. He's a great shooter with a lethal mid-range game and arguably the league's best wing defender. In roto leagues this season, because of his availability issues, he ranks much closer to the pack. If Kawhi repeats his availability from last season, though, then you can expect him to wear the small forward crown. And that's going to do it here for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on the video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. I am going to sign off for now, but I will catch you guys on the next episode.